Let's talk about Seiko, maybe the Seiko SKX specifically, but it's going to be a little more encompassing because there's just so many parts involved with what I want to talk about. So, I don't know, maybe you guys feel the same way too, but like, I don't want to say I'm disappointed or let down with the recent Seiko models because a lot of them are super cool. They just don't seem the best ones for me. They seem like they're already in the past, and that's, I mean, mostly because I'm a Seiko Monster fan, and there still is some Monsters new releases, and as they release them I will buy them. So like I have the blue one in route, so I'll have that one soon. I actually wore the Jade today. This thing in natural light looks really good. It's hard to capture in this studio artificial light, but great looking watch. I love it. Of course, my Orange Monster as well. But a close second for me anyway is the Seiko SKX. And for many of you guys, the SKX is like a first love, you know. And then there's the whole group of people that mod these, and in varying levels of expertise or willingness to go deeper. I like personally, I think some of this carries over from modifying cars in my past. I used to always modify my cars very tastefully and almost like we used to call it OEM plus. So like you would use other parts from nicer models and transport them over to the basic model to make that basic model like a better model than it really was, but it was never available in that kind of build. And to me, I look at the SKX the same way. I mean, you can stuff, and again, like I'm a bit of a purist in the fact that I actually like the 7S26 movement. I had this modified with the 4R, and I demodded it, put it back to the 7S, and put it back in its stock form. But you have so many options. You can put the 4R or NH in it or whatever you want. You can put a 6R in it because the SARB 059 and 61 came with a 6R15 in it. It was like an SKX Alpinist basically. And that's where a lot of guys actually source these crowns. Now there's other options you can get, but again, this is harkening back to my OEM plus. If the Seiko OEM parts are available for a mod, I'm always going to pick those first. But sometimes you step outside that because you want to do something that isn't available from the OEM. So like if you're going to do a blue dial, like a more vibrant blue dial in an SKX, say whether you want to do the Patty Turtle dial in there, or like that one I built for Jonathan, which I'm actually trying to buy back, where I had that Blue Lagoon turtle dial in there. You pair it up with this Yaboki's blue metal inner chapter ring, and then install a sapphire crystal, whatever your preference, flat dome or whatever you want to do, with a nice blue anti-reflective coating on there, and you're going to have an amazing blue pop of color coming from that dial. So that is something. So what I'm getting at, I guess, because short of waiting for like a new monster to pop up occasionally, which are just random, it seems at this point, and buying that, I've decided to go back. As much as I complain or I don't want to say hate, but it's stressful for me personally to modify certain watches. And so I think I'm just going to do it more. I'm going to do more SKX. Like I got a killer one coming in hopefully soon, and I'll try to share with you guys the best I can. And that's my other problem I have with modding, is it's hard for me to capture it on video or even pictures because I'm so focused on working on the watch and getting it to my level of perfection that it's hard for me to do the video or pictures. So if I can figure that out, whether I just do a time lapse on it and then just edit it, which I hate to edit videos, but I would like to share that with you guys. So I'll do my best to do that in the future. And then I have another watch that was from my neighbor that we put a Coke bezel on it. We built that Coke one, and the paint or whatever on the aluminum bezel actually wore off around here. And he wasn't wearing it doing any hard use or around any chemicals. So I don't know if it was just a defective bezel insert from Degas. I was going to reach out to them and see about getting that rectified. But I think Frank and I had decided that we're just going to go a different route. So we might go with a ceramic insert, or he might even just do a full Pepsi build. But that one has the 171 dial in it, and I think that looks really cool. So it was a good use of that dial. So I would like to keep that look. So what we might do with that one, I'll double check with him, but I have a Yaboki's black metal insert that'll pop really good on that 171 dial. So I might, as much as I hate doing crystals, I might pop that crystal out, put a sapphire crystal on, probably a double dome, so then we can do a really cool ceramic insert and everything will, fit really good. And then I do that Yaboki's inner chapter ring, and it's just going to look like a really, really beautiful black watch. But I also want to probably change the hands, maybe over to either the sea urchin hands or the marine master hands. Those are some of my favorite ones. Besides the fact that I think SKX look great with the factory hands already. I think they're a really good hand set. I would also like to do an SKX with maybe some of the, the monster hands like this, if I can find a set, like the polished ones. I know they were used in other watches, so slowly just trying to acquire parts right now. Because, I don't know, I think I'm just going to go nuts and just start collecting parts. That way I have resources, just like somehow I bought this dial. I don't remember what I was going to do with it, but at one point I was thinking about selling it, but I don't know, it's one of those things with parts, as long as you keep them clean and covered up and everything like that, maybe you'll use it later on. They're really not going to go down in value. So at some point, somebody's either going to need that or want that, and I can sell it and get my money back, or maybe I'll use it in a build. So I already scored a display case back for a mod that I'm going to be doing. So this will work. This is off SNK, so it's the same size. It's hard to visualize it because once you make it transparent, it doesn't look like it's the right size. But this is a plain aftermarket case back for an SKX, and you can see that the SNK, the little watches, their display case backs will actually fit on the back of an SKX. So if you want to do a display case back, which I think would look better if you were to source either a 6R or a 4R or whatever movement with like the gold rotor. I wish somebody would make, and maybe they do and I don't know about it. If you guys know, let me know. I wish somebody would make some customizable or aftermarket rotors that we could install either on the 7S or the NH or something like that. So we can do some more fun build. We can elevate our mods a little bit. So, because some guys, I know the Seiko movements aren't decorated or anything like that, but some of us like to see what's going on back there. It's just kind of fun. So pretty cool stuff. There's already a massive support structure of aftermarket parts, and they're in varying qualities. And hopefully I'm talking to a few mod parts manufacturers, or at least sellers. I'm not sure who makes them or whatever, but they're hopefully going to be sending me some parts to share with you guys and show off and stuff like that. And then if I end up implementing them into a build, it could end up being a giveaway watch or something. We'll see how it progresses, or see how frustrated I get and if I bail on the whole thing. But like, I don't even remember where this bezel was from, but when I installed it, I just didn't really care for the way it clicked. Like I preferred the factory one. So, the way they're machined out on the back and everything is super important. So again, some are better than others, and some people maybe just don't care, if it's feels perfect or whatever. I personally just like it to feel very much like OEM. So if you guys know of anybody that's doing a coin edge bezel or some other aftermarket bezels that feel very much like the factory bezel or better, then let me know down in the comments, because that's what I would be wanting. Otherwise, honestly, I just prefer the factory bezel. So I have seen, I don't know how the heck you do it, but I've seen people where they modify them and they chop this down. So, but man, I don't know how you would even do that. It's a lot of work, getting it dialed right in. So anyway, guys, went super long. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll have some SKX mods for you guys soon. And I have some other watch video reviews coming up too, or not reviews, show and tell, that my friend Chris sent in. Actually, I'll give you a little sneak peek. This is that Carl's Corona. So pretty cool watch. I'll be doing that video probably tomorrow. I throw it back on the strap here. So very good looking watch. Great bezel action. So I'll be talking about that one probably in the next day or so. That blue Seiko Monster's coming in. And then, I don't know. I never really know. I got some other stuff coming in too. So I'll be sharing with you on a fairly regular basis. So talk to you soon. Thanks for watching.